Hello, and welcome back to another episode of What's New In on Melgar Media. Today we're going to kick off the week with some new trailers that were dropped and some teasers and just some announcements because it's new. We'll start off with The Sandman that's going to be on Netflix. That's coming out August 5th, I believe. Yes. And this comes from the graphic novels that are very loved and held in very high regard. And this is a project that is being made by Sandman fans that are in the industry, obviously, but people that loved it, that really wanted to bring this to the big screen or the small screen, silver screen, whichever one you want to call it. And so it seems like they're putting a lot of effort and a lot of love, and the effects and everything look really great. The creators behind this, Neil Gaiman and what was the other one? David S. Goyer, have a lot of credibility and things that they've done that I think will really add to the whole essence of this show. Neil Gaiman is behind Good Omens, Beowulf, the CGI cartoon animated version that came out years back, Lucifer, American Gods. He also dabbled in the Doctor Who series. So he's definitely got some of that sci-fi genre down, and he sounds really passionate about this project. So a lot of people are anticipating but want it to be done correctly, and I think that these guys are. The other gentleman, David S. Goyer, the other creator, he's got Hellraiser, I think the newer versions of Hellraiser. He did Terminator Dark Fate. He's done a lot of the Batman, Dark Knight stuff with Christopher Nolan. But he also did Batman vs. Superman and Man of Steel and Constantine, the movie that came out with Keanu Reeves. So he definitely has some credibility to himself. Not the Constantine movie, the Constantine the show. There's another gentleman I'll talk about later that was involved in the Constantine movie. But yeah, so like I said, this project looks fun and exciting, and it's coming out sooner than we think. I think that this will be another series that will definitely last, 4 or 5 seasons. So looking forward to that. And the next one that I was going to talk about is this new edition that I had no idea was coming out, and that is the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games prequel, and it's called Ballad, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and this is coming out in 2023. The stars I haven't really heard much of. It's starring Rachel Zegler, she's going to be in Shazam, Fury of the Gods. She's going to be in the new Disney Snow White, the newer version, and she was just in West Side Story, Steven Spielberg, so I'm sure it's great. I haven't watched it all the way. It's something that you kind of want to watch with the ladies because this is a musical, but it is a remake of a classic. And then Tom Blythe. I just started watching the series that he's doing. I think it's on Epix or something like that, and it's Billy the Kid. I'm a huge fan of the Billy the Kid, the stories, obviously from Young Guns and stuff like that. The show I only watched the first few episodes. It looked a little lackluster, but it could probably get better. The cinematography and settings, stages and everything look authentic though. So I'll probably give that another shot, especially if this gentleman does well in this upcoming addition to the Hunger Games saga. And this is a younger version of one of the key characters that rebels basically against the Capitol, because this is right after the major civil war. So it definitely looks like it could be good. There's only a little teaser out, and it kind of does the same thing like Game of Thrones-y, Lord of the Rings thing, where they're just showing the symbol, the mockingbird or mockingjay symbol. So we'll see. I mean, I liked all the other ones, and I thought that franchise or the last series ended pretty well. So, I mean, and this has the same director that did a couple of the installments. He did Mockingjay 1 and 2. He did Catching Fire for the Hunger Games franchise. He also did I Am Legend, directed I Am Legend, and Constantine the movie. There it is. There's the director, the gentleman that I was talking about. Constantine the movie. There he is. But yeah, as I said, not really well versed on the two actors, but that kind of makes for a better showing when you don't have just big name actors. A lot of the times, the ones that are trying to make a name for themselves put out a stellar performance. So looking forward to that. Moving right along, we will talk about Wednesday. This is something that I am very intrigued to. Tim Burton is coming back to the Addams Family genre franchise, and this is going to be following specifically Wednesday from the Family, who has been played by Jenna Ortega. She just did, you saw her in Scream 5 for a little bit, and she's going to be a major part in Scream 6, which they just, Neve Campbell just announced that she will not be reprising her role, which is strange to kind of, I mean, how do you make Scream without Neve Campbell? But I guess that her and the studio didn't really meet on terms as to compensation for as much as she has brought to the table. So maybe that gets fixed and she does come back, because I mean, she made a statement. So a lot of the times when they do that, it's kind of a contract little like nudge, like, hey, make it work. And the fans will speak out and they'll bring me back. So fingers crossed that she does come back. But as for this Wednesday show on Netflix, this is going to follow Wednesday from the Addams Family, her early years as a student, where she attempts to master her emerging psychic ability, and I'm sure she's just going to get in all sorts of mischief. And yeah, this is supposed to be kind of like a solve the mystery type series. So I'm curious to see all of the rest of the cast. It also is going to have Christina Ricci, who played obviously Wednesday in the movies, but she's going to be playing a different role, and Catherine Zeta-Jones as well. So stay tuned for that, because that drops. Let's see. It says coming in 2022. So I'm sure that they'll probably release this around Halloween to give us that whole vibe. And on to the next. This was something that I hadn't heard of at all, and just kind of popped up when I was looking at new teasers, new trailers, and just new shows in general that were coming out. And that is A League of Their Own, a series. So I think we all love the movie that had Tom Hanks as the coach and a really, really all-star cast, including Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell, which not a lot of the returning cast will be returning, but it looks as though Rosie O'Donnell will make a cameo as she is on the docket for a cast, and it does just say like she makes like a guest appearance or so. So yes, this is an all new cast, but in the same era, and I think a lot of the same characters will be brought back to the screen, just with different actresses. The trailer that's out right now does look pretty good and follows suit, I feel like, with the movie. The kind of the glare they have on the cinematography, or lack thereof, it's just kind of muted. The Great Depression type era, where the ladies stayed back when the gentlemen went to war, and they were just meant to be producing weapons and parts and pieces in the factories. They took over those jobs because all the men were in war, but they also created baseball because it wasn't, like I said, a lot of the guys were away, so they created their own league. And this will follow all new adventures, and it's on Prime. They've been doing a lot of hit or miss lately, so let's hope that this one hits, because I thought that was really funny, and this is going to also be a comedy. So yeah, a lot of the actresses are actresses that I haven't heard of, but there again, like I was mentioning before, they'll probably bring a lot to the table. And especially with a period piece, you don't really want to try and bring all big name actors and actresses, because you relate them to other movies and shows and it misses the mark. But yes, that is just some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Tonight, we will probably do a viewing of the new Kenobi episode with my boy Boogie Bills, and so we will either have a review of and reaction of that episode late or early this morning or tomorrow. So don't forget to tune in to our other show, Scruffy Nerf Herders. It's exciting. It's fun. We joke. We get really into the lore and just things you haven't heard of, because he knows all things EU, as well as just some things that I like to add. And we bring our knowledge of Star Wars together and fandom together and have a great time. So please feel free to tune in. It's got a whole different vibe than just this show, like What's New In, as well as What You Watching. So yeah, check that out. There's a shameless little plug. And then another What You Watching on Thursday. I didn't do last week's because we got a little delayed in putting out the Scruffy Nerf Herder show, and I didn't want to take anything away from that. But I will eventually review the new Top Gun, Stranger Things, which I can just say 10 out of 10 right now. It's absolutely fantastic. They have yet to miss a mark, and I keep thinking that they're going to eventually slip up, but they have yet to do that, and I'm excited for the Duffy brothers to do something after this and kind of see if they bring that same energy. But we'll get into that later, as well as everything else that came out last Friday. So yeah, get excited. There's just so much in the Kenobi series. So we will chat more about that. We'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to smash a like below and get excited for the next episodes, as more content is coming right at you with this fun summer. And show love to each other. Just went to a wedding, celebrated. So, you step away from the TV screen for a little bit. Maybe listen to me on your headphones. But take care of each other. Much love. Melgar Media out. Peace.